Wow. All right, we are live, but we're not live on Twitch because Twitch doesn't like the words that we picked for the title. As you can see, if you're on YouTube, let's see if Twitch likes this now. New title, go live on Twitch. Nope, Twitch is still not liking it. I'm just going to call it Live with Armin. Is that okay, Twitch? Can we go live with that title? Yes. Go live. All right, we're on Twitch as well. So we're now on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook live streaming. If you're just seeing us on Twitch now, that's because Twitch doesn't like our titles, apparently, because too controversial. You can see in the title on YouTube why Twitch might not like it, but that's because they're idiots. I'm going to do something very special for you guys today. I'm going to do certain coverage. I'm going to connect some dots for you guys about a couple of different stories that many people are not seeing how they're related. And I saw, and it seems like there's not that many people connecting these dots with each other, because when I tried to look for an article that just had all of these in one place or was analyzing it the way I wanted to, I was like, this doesn't seem to exist. And if it doesn't exist, that means that I'm bringing to you something that it either doesn't exist, this level of analysis, or it's very rare. Okay, so this is why you should appreciate having me, having me here to explain things to us. Are we talking about Kyle? My Iranian friend told me Kulinski. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. We're going to talk about Kyle Kulinski because you can see. Hold on just a second. All right. Oh, Marco, you're talking about like a maniac after you send me that email. After the email that you sent me, Marco, yeah, you're in no position to tell anybody that they sound like a maniac. Anyways, guys, so we're going to talk about multiple different stories that seem unrelated to a lot of people who have been reporting on it. But they're connected, and I'm going to do it live with you guys, and you guys can call me out if you think I'm going too far with this, okay? And again, you're welcome, okay? You're welcome, because this is not something you're going to get in. This is so bizarre, because even, like, I sometimes think, like, do I figure, like, is these things that I'm saying is it because like I'm Iranian or something like that? But no, even in the Iranian circles, they haven't connected these dots with each other, right? Because I'm also online following what other Iranians are saying and what news they're covering. All right, hold on. They're not gonna let me watch this. I'm gonna try a different browser. Firefox is gonna let me watch this. There we go, Firefox. Thank you. Yeah, go away. Go away. All right, cool. Let's continue. Okay, so you guys already know about this, right? We covered this in our news segment, but for the people that don't know, we'll cover this just slightly. So basically, let me actually give you the top-down approach of what we're trying to do here, okay? The top-down approach, okay? Is it a DTR? Is it a conspiracy theory? Well, if I'm guys, I'm doing a live stream. Be quiet. If you think that I'm doing a conspiracy theory, that means that you should call me out on it. Okay, you should call me out on it, right? So here, look at this. This is one story. Swedish Iranian scientist faces imminent risk of execution. Okay, that's one story. And this is the second story. Iranian diplomat accused of plotting to, can I say this? I mean, it's in the title. I might as well say it. Well, we're on Twitch, so I don't know if Twitch doesn't like this. To go boom, boom. Is that what I'm going to say? So, okay, so the first story is a Swedish Iranian scientist who is in Iran, is facing is on death row. It's very high chance of getting executed. Well, maybe not, but pretty close. Okay, that's one story. So this is a dual citizen in Iran that might be executed for allegedly being a spy for Israel. Okay, that's one story. Then we have a separate story. Iranian diplomat. Okay, this is a completely different story, or you might think Iranian diplomat accused of plotting. Boom, boom. Dissidents goes on trial in Belgium. Okay, so the scientist's name is Ahmed Reza Jalali, and this guy, who is a diplomat, who was about to do a radical attack, I can't say the T word, in Belgium, he was supposed to show up on trial because of the attack that he was about to do and failed. He didn't show up on trial, claiming that he's supposed to be immune because he's a diplomat, right? Diplomatic immunity and all that. And how are these stories related? And why does this lady get involved all of a sudden? Why does she all of a sudden go into the story? And what does this all have to do with Kyle Kulinski? Okay, so I have a lot to go through. Let's connect the dots, okay? Let's connect the dots, okay? So some of these dots have been connected for us. Yes, it's not it. No, this is not a hypothesis. This is legit. This is everything is out in the open. It's just that not many people are like analyzing them together, okay? This Jojo, will you talk to Kyle Kulinski? Are you serious? When has Kyle Kulinski talked to anybody in a debate? Like, are you guys like serious? Do you guys not know how these legendary Internet Explorer? No, not Internet Explorer. To get around some of those articles restrictions, you can use. Well, I mean, I managed to get around it. Didn't you just see what I did? Look, I'm here, so we're fine. Actually, let's look at here. So I know what I'm doing, right? Okay, so the first story. Let's quickly go through it because there's so many different things happening here, and I need to connect it for you guys really quickly, okay? So the first story is a Swedish-Iranian scientist sentenced to death in Iran on espionage charges may face execution as early as Wednesday, human rights groups and his wife have warned. Ahmed Reza Jalali was due to be taken from Evin prison to Rajai Shah, another prison, on Tuesday. So this is okay. So let me just give you the rundown of this because I'm going to go all the way to this guy didn't do anything wrong. He's not a spy. This is a common tactic that the Iranian government uses. Every time they want something from another government, they constantly go and find a dual citizen in their own country to arrest them and use them as chess pieces, as a tool to get what they want from another government or from multiple governments. Okay, so they arrested this guy. Okay, and he's Swedish Iranian, but he has ties to a Belgium. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know if it's in this article, but he has ties to Belgium and universities there, and he's very active and he's known. But anyways, he was the reason why. Actually, here, I think at the end of this article, it mentions it. Okay, so here's the small part at the very end of this article that this is the most important part of this article. Okay? There have been reports that Iran had been hoping to trade his, I don't know how to say this, reprieve. Oh, there we go. For the release, why didn't you say for his freedom? For the release of the Iranian diplomat Asadullah Assadi on trial in Belgium for already taking part in a plot to explode a boom boom at a rally of Iranian opposition figures in 2018. He's refusing to appear at the trial, claiming diplomatic immunity. So for the people who are not familiar with this tactic, this is a common tactic. This is used by Iranian government. Let me show you this, okay? Let me show you some other examples. We're going to get to the... Hold on. How do I do this? F11. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is a common tactic there are many. Iran has Western hostages locked up at all times in case it wants leverage for a deal with their country. Okay, like they sometimes just lock up people not because they want leverage from a country at the moment. They just might use it for a later date, right? So if you're a dual citizen in Iran, you have to understand that you could at any point be arrested, not because you're a spy, but because you're going to be accused of being a spy. And a lot of these people have been tortured and put on death row just because you're a citizen of Iran and another country. And because you're a citizen of Iran, based on international law and stuff, Iran has a right over arresting you, apparently, and doing whatever they want to you. But because you're a citizen of another country, that country is now responsible for trying to save your life. So these dual citizens, Iranian and other citizens of other countries, are are taken hostage with like such bizarre, accusations of being spies. Just like everybody knows, it's just ridiculous. They even are told, like sometimes people so a lot of these people who get arrested, they tell them they know, everybody knows that they haven't even had a history of being politically active in any ways. Like they have no history of even activism or being interested in politics. Like they're scientists, they're mathematicians, I don't know, they're chess players. They have nothing to do with politics, right? And because it's so obvious that they're not spies, they're even told upon their arrest at sometimes that, yeah, you're being arrested and you have to confess that you're a spy, because we need you to confess that you're a spy, because only then we could exchange you with one of the prisoners that we have on the other side. And we're not going to be able to proceed with this unless you confess that, yeah, we know you're not a spy. You know you're not a spy. But the only way for you to get out of this is to confess that you're a spy so we could make this exchange happen, right? Imagine how evil a government is. Let me see if you guys are saying anything. Imagine how evil a government is to know that if you have a dual citizen, that if somebody is a citizen of both Iran and another country, okay, then that other country cares about its citizens more than you care about your citizens. And that's the leverage that you're going to play with, okay? So, by the way, a lot of times they actually arrest people that are not even dual citizens. Not a lot less. But those people can be sure that they're not going to go on death row. Like, they're going to be exchanged for sure. They're going to spend a couple of months in prison or something. But if you're a dual citizen, then you're screwed. If you're a dual citizen, if you're a citizen of Iran, because Iran doesn't recognize your other citizenship, okay? If you're this guy, because you're a citizen of Iran, they feel like they have every right to do whatever they want to you, okay? So let's look at some, what is it? Bullet points here. Okay, so here. They would be interrogated for information about Western activities in Iran. Sometimes they would be offered deals to spy for Iran on dissidents or government. No, this is not the part that I want here. Where's the other bullet point? Since 20, okay, here. Since 2015, Iran has arrested. Okay, guys, this is not since the Islamic Revolution, okay? This is not since the 1979. This is since 2015. This is just the past 5 years, okay? Since 2015, Iran has arrested more than 40 dual nationals. 40 dual nationals only since 2015. Okay? Inside the country with a heavy focus on Iranians living in the US or Europe. Reuters found that 30 were arrested from 2015 to 2018, and that 19 of them were nationals of both Iran and various European countries. So, of Americans, Europeans, we watched just as, okay. Yeah, I'm not going to get too much into this. Like, we could do we could do multiple live streams of the situations with how the dual citizens are used in Iran as hostages, okay? So, basically, that's what is happening here. That is what is happening with this guy, okay? And who is this other person that they're trying to? They put this guy on death row. He's like, guys, okay, this guy is like a scientist, right? Any country would be so proud. Like this Ahmed Reza, he's like a really a scientist that any country would be proud of having. Like, he's very well known, and he's like top. Like, I don't know, like in Europe, they take him very seriously and all, but when it comes to Iran, they arrest him and they put him on death row. Like, instead of like celebrating having a scientist like this, they invited him to the Tehran University, which is the university that I studied in. Actually, this is very weird because both of the universities that I studied in, both in Canada and hold on, let me see where this is. In both in Canada and Iran, both of those universities are somehow tied to the stories, which is weird because those are the only two of the three universities that I've studied in, and they're both, two of them are mentioned in these stories, right? So this guy, oh yeah, here, Jalali had traveled to Iran at the official invitation of the University of Tehran. This is where I studied cellular biology, but was arrested by intelligence ministry. So basically, it was kind of like a trap. Like, hey, come here, speak. And they're like, psych, you're on death row now, bitch. Anyways, and now they arrested him. I mean, come, guys, here's that advice. If you're a dual citizen, don't go to Iran. I mean, wait a minute. Don't just go to Iran at all. Never mind. But especially if you're a dual citizen, what the hell? Like, this is like a common practice by the Iranian government. Like, what the hell are you even doing? Let me see if you guys, what is your way of, oh my God, Shantuna, I'm going to ignore you for the rest of the stream because you're asking me a question that has nothing to do, like there's so many different items that I'm trying to go through, and I'm also trying to pay attention to the live chat, and you distract me with something that has nothing to do with what we were talking about. I'm not going to pay attention to anything you say anymore for the rest of, I don't know, rest of this live stream, okay? So what is it? Who is this guy? Guys, I have no idea why this attempted attack in 2018 is not a bigger deal than it is, okay? Because this guy, this Asadullah Assadi, he tried to do a boom boom in Belgium, and if it was successful, it would have been one of the largest attacks in Europe since what happened in London. It would have been insane. But the unique thing about this that is they stopped it because of, by the way, Israel gets involved a lot in these stories. Like you saw, none of the titles that we mentioned mentioned Israel. Was it mentioned in this story? But if you actually look at the story, there we go. They stopped this guy because Israeli tipped off, because Mossad, the Israeli intelligence agency, tipped off Belgium. Okay, so this attack was going to happen in Europe, but Mossad let the Europeans know, like, yeah, you need to, guys, there's this crazy person with a lot of explosions, and he's about to head to an event. And this event, look at the event. Okay, this is a convention in 2018 in Belgium, the convention of the National Council of Resistance in Iran. I mean, there's a whole bunch of idiots here, by the way. Let's not get into that. Are these the MEK? Yeah, this is probably the MEK. But there were some other politicians, like Western politicians there as well, other than the dumbass cult that is the MEK. We'll not get into what the MEK is right now. But this is a bunch of idiots, and also some Western. I mean, they're all idiots. I mean, if you're a Western politician and you're supporting the MEK, is this the MEK? God damn it, it is the MEK, isn't it? Anyways, we don't care who this is. You just know that if there was a boom boom here, a lot of people would die. A lot of people would die. Okay, this would be one of the largest. Oh yeah, it is the MEK. I knew it. I know. They just look like the MEK. I can tell that they're MEK by just looking at the picture. Look at it. It's MEK. It's MEK. God damn it, these people. Okay, so it is MEK. So these are all a bunch of idiots, but they don't deserve to go boom boom just because they're idiots, right? So if there was a boom boom here, and look at this crowd. Look at this crowd. It would be huge. It would be insane. It would be the craziest attack. I mean, the London attacks would be nothing compared to this, okay? But so this is unique, not just because the size of the attack, if like how devastating this attack would have been if it was successful. So by the way, thank you, Mossad, I guess, for there's not that many. you know, not that many people say this, but thank you, Mossad. I think it's in order. Like for saving all these innocent people's lives, right? I mean, thank you. Like, not that many people say. I mean, Mossad has done like a lot of shady things, to be fair, okay? And we call them out for that. But I guess if we want to criticize Mossad for all the bad things that they do, we should also thank them for saving all these people's lives. I mean, they tipped off the Europeans and they stopped this attack. So thank you. But okay, but what I was saying is that the unique thing about this attack was not just that the size of the attack, but also the fact that this guy is an Iranian citizen. Okay, because the way in the past 40 years, most of the terror attacks, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? That is sponsored by the Iranian government. The vast majority of them is through proxies, not through Iranian citizens, so that there could be some deniability and all that, right? So this was bizarre because this guy that was actually carrying the explosives in his car was an Iranian citizen, and it's beyond just an Iranian citizen. You know what I'm talking about? You guys been paying attention? Armin, you want to just join Mossad? Yes, I will improve Mossad if I join Mossad. Mossad, call me, Mossad, call me. I know how to. I have so many advice for you. Okay, just call me. But yeah, what am I saying? Do you guys know what else is unique about this? Anyone? No. It's okay. I was gonna yell. It's a diplomat. It's an Iranian diplomat. It goes beyond. Just a goddamn citizen. This was a diplomat. Hold on, let me see if this article. Oh yeah, okay, here. Police officers at the court building in Antwerp, Belgium, on Friday before the trial of Iranian diplomat Asadullah Assadi, who is charged with planning to boom a meeting of an exiled Iranian opposition. Guys, this was like a government official. This was a government official that had boom in his car, and it was heading towards this event, and they stopped him. Okay, and now he has a trial date, and he's like, "I'm not going to show up. I'm a diplomat. I have diplomatic immunity." Like, what the hell? Can you even do that? Okay. Agent Navabi, the meeting is on Wednesday. Thank you so much, Troll. Wait, Troll, you're Mossad? I didn't know that. Well, okay. Marco is saying diplomat is such a wide term. Did he have diplomatic immunity? Okay, he said he had diplomatic immunity, which is weird. I mean, I don't know how okay, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have no idea how diplomatic immunities work, but I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think if you're about to like go boom on a giant event, you can't pull out the diplomatic immunity card, can you? I don't. I think there's a line that when you cross, then they're like, yeah, no. And I think this guy passed that line by like light years. I think. I'm not sure how. I have no idea how diplomatic immunities work. Okay. Hold on. Let me see. Where does it say what capacity? Where was he as a diplomat? What the hell was he? The prosecutor, little more than. Okay, hold on. Somebody figure it out. I know he like something to do with the embassy or something. Everybody's just saying diplomat, Iranian diplomat, Iranian embassy. Oh, there we go. Embassy counselor. It was an embassy counselor. Oh. Ambassador and consul of the diplomatic immunity, even if they went boom. Wait, I don't know what you mean. Okay, so now we know. So he had the position at the embassy. Okay. Anyways, so this is bad, and this is how this is tied to this. And Europeans usually cave. Europeans usually cave. Europeans, when you go after the citizens, when Iran had this like, oh yeah, okay, you guys did this, and you guys are angry with us, or you're gonna do this, but I mean, we have one of your citizens, or something close. We have that, and you guys just love your citizens, right? I mean, what's up with that? Yeah, I mean, what's up with that? Why you guys just like do everything for your citizens? Like, this is weird. Like, are you like in love with your citizens? Like, you're obsessed with your citizens. Like, we'll just torture them. We put them on death row for just accuse them of being spies. But you guys are obsessed, hey? You go out of your way to save your citizens. I mean, that's your weakness, I guess, right? Such humanist. It's cringe. But I mean, thank you for advertising your weakness. I guess we'll go after your citizens, and since you do anything for them, I guess we'll keep kidnapping them and ask for favors. And if anybody comes at us and says like, but you can't do that, we're like, well, there are citizens too. When we don't recognize dual citizens, and technically because there are citizens, we get to do whatever. We own them. We get to do whatever we want. Okay, so Marco is saying that doesn't mean he has full diplomatic immunity. Well, then he better show up at this court date, because he hasn't been showing up at his court date, and because he says I have diplomatic immunity. So if he doesn't, then somebody better go and pick him up, right? Anyways, that's when this lady comes in and twists. There's a twist in the story, okay? There's a new twist in the story, okay? This lady, this is back from May 2019, okay? Iranian female activist wins Belgium parliament seat. So she's Iranian women rights activist, and in 2019, she became a member of the parliament in Belgium. How is she relevant to the story? And apparently nobody is telling you this, and that's why I'm here, okay? Because I'm the Kowalski today, okay? I'm the Kowalski today, okay? Let's do this. Oh, thank you, Ali. Ali knows that sometimes I'm dumb, and well, many times I forget to put the video back on. So he reminded me that this video is up. Thank you, Ali. You're nice. You're very good. Yes, exactly, DTR. All right. So I'm gonna play this for you guys, but I need to translate. So maybe because you guys don't speak Persian, I might as well put it on double speed, because nobody can complain, because you have no idea. Whoa, hold on. What did I do? Full screen. This lady is Darya Safai. I don't know why. Okay, hold on. One more time. متولد فروردین 1354 در تهران. دندانپزشک، فعال حقوق زن. So she's born in Iran. She was both a dentist and also a woman rights activist. زنان و عضو پارلمان بلژیک. And a member of the parliament in Belgium. دریا صفایی در جریان اعتراضات دانشجویی در اواخر دهه 1370 در ایران زندانی She was arrested in Iran for her activism. شد. سپس به همراه Oh, look at her. This is before and after. Me under Sharia law in Iran, 1995. This is her now. She ran away when she was charged, like when she was being hunted down, she ran away from Turkey, and then from Turkey she went to Belgium. So people recognize her for her women rights activism, to try to let women have access to the places that only men have access to. For example, like sporting institutions and stadiums. در کشورهای مختلف نسبت به منع ورود زنان به استادیوم‌های ورزشی در ایران می‌شناسند. فعالیت‌های او با شعار بگذارید زنان ایرانی وارد ورزشگاه‌ها شوند باعث شد Let Iranian women enter the stadiums. So this is back then.
او در کنار مسئله منع ورود زنان به استادیوم‌ها در
This is before she was an MP. She was mostly an activist.
ایران موضوع
This gets relevant to what we were talking about, okay?
مورد بحث رسانه‌های جهانی شود. روز گذشته اما نام دریا صفایی
Okay, so now as a member of parliament in Belgium, this is what she does, okay? This is what she does. She's like, we don't negotiate with Terry's. Terry's, you know what I'm talking about, right? She's like, no more negotiation because, guys, if you keep doing this, if you keep giving them what they want, they're going to come out for more of our citizens. I mean, duh. Why are we rewarding this bad behavior? So she's like, let's put a stop to this. Let's put a stop to this. In Belgium, she is the hero that we needed all this time to be like, hey, Europe, cut it out. Cut out this beta BS. Cut out all this beta BS. Don't let the Iranian government keep manipulating you and bullying you around and getting concessions out of you. It's enough. It's enough. So she passed the law in Belgium. Guys, and this is unprecedented because Europe usually doesn't get this aggressive with Iran's government. So I'm happy if this is going to go through, okay? Yeah, Darko is saying that is way too reasonable. Yes. Okay, so she's saying in an unprecedented move in the political. She said this woman in an unprecedented move in the history of politics and relationships between the European countries and the Iranian government. She said a move that could be the start of a major move in another direction by European countries. Guys, all of this is happening when everybody is looking at United States and the transition to Biden and how Biden, like everyone in Iran and Saudi Arabia, is now waiting to see what the new attitude of the United States is going to be towards Iran's government based on the Biden's administration. And while Iran's government is waiting for that to improve, all of a sudden Europe is getting more aggressive. So with Iran's government. So this is the timing of all of this is very interesting. So, it's already passed. Wow, this law that she suggested put forth, it's already been passed. Like they voted yes for it. What? Really? So this new law makes the Belgium's government force the Belgian government to encase the scientist that I showed you. I mean, again, somehow that guy is Iranian Swedish and this is Belgium, but somehow that guy is somehow also connected to Belgium. I don't know the details about the connection and the university he is involved in, but they're somehow connected. It doesn't matter. What matters is that Belgium is taking the first step, and Belgium, because remember, that guy that was arrested, that guy that was going to do the boom boom in 2018, that guy is from Belgium, and apparently the arrest of that scientist is in relationship to the attack that was going to happen in Belgium. Right? So this is very interesting because Belgium is responding and saying, if you do go ahead and execute the scientists, what will happen? Belgium is going to cut all trading and political relationships with Iran. Are you going to put sanctions on them? No, they're just going to cut ties. Every single one of them. No trade, no political relationship. We're not like pussyfooting with some sanctions here and there. We're just gonna cut ties. You execute, we cut ties. It's over. And guys, this is not just about Belgium because this will set a precedent. Okay, that's insanely more aggressive than anything that's been suggested before. This is not about maybe a little bit sanctions, maybe we're going to put tariffs on this. No, we're just going to cut all ties, all economic and all political ties with Iran if you go ahead and execute. So not only we're not going to negotiate with you and give you back your Terry here, your crazy person here that was about to go boom boom in our country, not only we're not going to give you that, we're just gonna come up with our own. We see you raise us by this much, we see it and raise you double, okay? Even triple, okay? This is like really badass response, okay? We should do that on EU level. Well, I'm hoping that this is gonna set a precedent. I'm hoping that this is gonna set a precedent. This lady is like, thank you. Like, this lady is like, guys, this is like, let's stop playing around with these people, okay? This is like, they can't keep doing. Like, finally, somebody is like pushing back. Yeah, so look, see, like, there's not that many English articles that have the pictures of these two people next to each other. This guy is being on death row for trying to release this guy, okay? I mean, imagine that. Imagine, like, you have a scientist, there's an Iranian scientist, and it's coming back to Iran, and like, oh yeah, come back to Iran. Like other countries are like, come on, like, look at this guy. This is our guy. It's our scientist. Let's celebrate him. Imagine being a country that just knowingly is going to accuse this guy of being a spy for Israel to be able to negotiate and get somebody else. And look at these two citizens. One of them had explosives and was about to go kill a whole bunch of innocent people. The other one is a celebrated scientist, and they're putting the life of the celebrated scientist at risk, their own citizen, to get the goddamn crazy person that was about to go boom boom on a whole bunch of innocent people. Look at the priorities. Like, we want this guy. They're like, we want this guy. We're willing to sacrifice this guy to get this guy. Saying, I'm not responding to questions that is not about the live stream we're doing. God damn it. If you're tagging Atheist Republic, please do not distract me for what we're talking about. The tagging is used for you people saying something that is important, that's going to be helpful. Or a question about the story that we're talking about. And you're talking about something that is completely irrelevant. So she's saying that oh my god, guys, you're distracting me with stuff that is okay. So she's saying that this would make Belgium the first country that is treating the hostage taking of people with dual nationals.
بلژیک اولین کشور اروپایی خواهد بود که برخلاف رویه حمایتی اروپا از جمهوری اسلامی دست حمایت خود را از پشت رژیم تهران
that unlike all the other European countries and what they have so far, instead of like trying to negotiate with Iran and supporting them in different ways, they will be completely removing all their support from the Iranian government.
و مشخص نیست در پی این اقدام بلژیک چه اتفاقات دیگری در روابط کشورهای اروپایی با جمهوری اسلامی رخ دهد.
She's saying, and it's not clear that what will happen, what would other European countries do, because guys, remember, EU countries are very united, okay? This is what the UK lost, by the way. They're very like this, usually speak with one voice. I mean, they fight often, but relative to other countries, if Belgium sets a precedent, it has a much bigger impact on other EU members than other countries. Wait, is that her? Oh my god, we could hear directly from her. Wait, is that really her? Wait, Marco saying historically this is nothing new. During Cold War, American and Soviets sometimes arrested innocent people from the other side just to trade them for real spies. Yeah, historically, this is not new, but based on modern standards, this is backwards insane. But anyways, is that her? Yes, it's her. This is Darya Safai. Okay, Namayande Parliament Belgique. Okay, let's see what she has to say. Okay, guys, she's here. Guys, we're listening. We're getting the information directly from her. Okay, saying you really have to distract me. Try it. I'll ban you from the channel. Let me just put you on timeout just for that. Put user on timeout. All right, there you go. How are you going to distract me now when you're on timeout? That's Dr. Jalali in prison in Iran. Look at that. Okay, look at him. He's like, what the hell did I do? I just came here to give I was invited by a university to give a speech, and now they're telling me I'm a spy for Mossad. Mossad, call me. Mossad, I'm a legit spy. I would be a legit spy, okay? I mean, I'm gonna be a crappy spy because I told everybody that I want to be hired by Mossad. But I'll be advisor. I'll give you strategies and stuff. Come on, you know I'm worth it. I'll do it for free. That's how passionate I am. But yeah. So what are we saying? So this is the doctor. Look, he's in prison for giving a speech, but being told that he's a spy, and she's trying to help him. Okay, she's like, I mean, well, technically she's trying to set a new president. But yeah, let's continue.
خواستار این شدیم که به هیچ وجه دکتر جلالی اعدام نشه و در صورت اعدامش تبعات سنگینی برای روابط دیپلماتیک خواهد داشت. جمهوری اسلامی دانستن اینکه این مسئله براش عواقبی پیش میاره که سنگین خواهد بود. حالا چه از نظر روابط دیپلماتیک چه از نظر این
She's going to be like, if they execute him, there's going to be heavy consequences economically and politically for the Iranian government.
حالا چه از نظر روابط دیپلماتیک چه از نظر این اکسیا چه از نظر برجامی که میخواد دوباره مذاکره بکنن.
And also she's saying that also if they want to do a new deal, nuclear deal with the United States, this is also if Europe like, because think about it, right? So Biden wants to be like, Trump isolated us. Everybody was going this way, and we went that way, and the world was like, "Oh my God, look at US. US is crazy. They're not the leaders of the world anymore. We need adults in the room. Trump is a maniac," and like Biden is going to be like, "Look, we're the laughing stock of the world, and nobody is going to care about what we say anymore. We're not leading, and we need to get back to the international community and be taken seriously and have more sane positions when it comes to foreign policy and trade agreements. We need to get along with everybody, right?" So when the first deal was happening with Iran, like Europe was like on the side of, okay, let's get this deal done. And when Trump wanted to get out of the deal, Europe was like, what are you doing, Trump? Come on, don't throw away this deal, okay? So people like Biden are like, guys, we need to work with the international community. We can't just go our own way. So now if Biden wants to go take another look at Iran, if European countries are like, yeah, screw the Islamic Republic, like what the, like he's like arresting our citizens, and now you're doing a whole bunch of empire building in the region. And now even, guys, the European countries are saying, even if there is a new deal, we want tougher things. We want new things. We don't just want no nuclear centrifuges and stuff like that. We want to, this new deal is going to even have limitations on Iran's missile building and stuff like that. So the Europeans are like acting tough and being more aggressive against the Islamic Republic, much more compared to before. So if Biden wants to be like, okay, hey guys, we have an adult now in the White House. What are we doing now? What are we doing now? And if the European countries are like, we're being tough on Iran, and like Biden's like, oh crap, really? We're doing that now? You're like, yeah, we're gonna go like be more aggressive now. And Biden's like, okay, I guess I'm also gonna be. If we're gonna do a deal, like these allies are saying we need more. We need to ask more from Iran than just like no nuclear deal, no nuclear weapons or stuff like that. By the way, weapons now, because everyone like, Armin, don't say weapons. It's nuclear power. It's peaceful. We have new evidence. Another live stream. That would be another live stream. It was weapons, guys. News, information, new videos. We have audio recordings and stuff. Another live stream. We're going to cover that. Okay. So yeah. So Biden is going to be like, if Biden wants to show to other allies that they're now going to play ball and all, and going to act like a normal country, then if Europe is going to set a precedent to be tough on Iran's government, then Biden might also, whatever that deal is going to look like, is going to become a lot more aggressive. And if it's too aggressive, then the conservatives, well, they're all conservatives. They're all fundamental. I mean, the mask off fundamentalists in Iran. They're going to be like, screw that. We're not going to do a deal, and that's going to be crazy. Okay, imagine if Biden wants to do a deal, and the more of the fundamentalists, the people, they are the ones that back out because the deal is too aggressive. So that would be interesting. But guys, this whole new Biden-Iran nuclear deal is going to be whatever direction it goes, it's going to be very, 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 very interesting. So let's see. Okay, let's continue.
این اقدام پارلمان بلژیک که با سعی و تلاش دریا صفایی نماینده ایرانی تبار آن انجام شد را به نحوی میتوان پاسخ قاطعی دانست به اظهارات محمد جواد ظریف در روز پیش از تصویب این قانون. ظریف روز پنجشنبه 13 آذر در نشست مجازی گفتگوهای مدیترانه‌ای با
This is Iran's foreign minister. This video is saying what she did, what she's saying is probably like a very strong answer to this guy, which is his name is Zarif, and he's the foreign minister of Iran. And what did Zarif say?
روز پنجشنبه 13 آذر در نشست مجازی گفتگوهای مدیترانه‌ای با اعلام آمادگی جمهوری اسلامی برای تبادل زندانیان تلویحاً خواستار آزادی دیپلمات ایرانی اسدالله اسدی.
So Zarif was signaling that they want this guy to be freed, but indirectly was kind of hinting that if you guys we could exchange prisoners, like we could, if you guys give us this guy, we will give you this guy. Like, even because usually these kind of exchanges of this is such a dirty, disgusting, evil work that people like Zarif and Rouhani in Iran, that's like stuff that is too dirty for them to even admit that they do. They leave that up to the judicial system or the fundamentalists or the IRGC to touch and talk about. They don't even touch that because that's so evil and dark it is that they want to act like they're not involved in that. But apparently they're dropping hits that they really want this guy. They really want this guy back. I don't know why. I don't know what this guy knows or what information that he might be able to give as a way to get a more lenient sentence or something. But they really, really want this guy back, and they're willing to sacrifice this poor scientist as a way to get him back. And even Zarif, which is supposed to be the moderate, he's hinting to the fact that they are willing to negotiate something like that.
که در حال حاضر در بلژیک با اتهام‌های تروریستی محاکمه می‌شود در قبال آزادی احمد رضا جلالی شد. او در این نشست گفت ایران چندین پیشنهاد را درباره تبادل زندانیان روی میز گذاشته است.
He admitted that Iran has put on the table some offers to change prisoners.
هر زمان که احتمال تبادل
Anytime that there's an opportunity to exchange prisoners,
وجود داشته باشد این کار انجام خواهد شد.
we will go through with it.
ما در این فرآیند شرکت می‌کنیم. این به نفع
we will take part in this exchange, and this will be in everyone's benefit. So that's what Iran's foreign minister is saying. Guys, and remember, this guy is supposed to be like the moderate.
همه خواهد بود. ظریف درباره آمادگی جمهوری اسلامی برای تبادل زندانی گفت می‌توانیم فردا اقدام به این کار کنیم و حتی می‌توانیم امروز چنین اقدامی را انجام دهیم. بسیاری از مخالفان جمهوری اسلامی اقدام پارلمان بلژیک را پاسخی به این پیشنهاد محمد جواد ظریف دانستند که باعث پایان دادن به رویه گروگانگیری از سوی حکومت می‌شود. حشمت الله طبرزدی
The people are saying this might be the end of doing such negotiations with Iran.
فعال سیاسی ساکن تهران و در کل جبهه دموکراتیک ایران نوشت از پارلمان بلژیک متشکریم. به جای تسلیم در برابر پیشنهاد ضد
This guy is saying we thank the Belgium's parliament instead of surrendering to the Iran's foreign minister Zarif,
بشری ظریف و مبادله اسدی تروریست با احمد رضا جلالی
and instead of exchanging a Terry guy with
مسبب کرد در صورت قتل جلالی
they said they came up with a very clear response that if you execute Dr. Jalali,
رابطه کشور بلژیک با رژیم فاسد
Belgium will completely cut ties with the Islamic Republic of Iran, and the rest of European countries. And the rest of other European countries might follow.
ولایت فقیه کامل قطع شود. سایر دول اروپایی از بلژیک پیروی کنند تا ریشه گروگانگیری قطع شود.
No, he's saying please get the other European countries to follow so that the root of taking hostages will get cut from. It will basically get removed from the roots.
پاسخ کاربران به تلاش دریا صفایی در این باره اشاره کردند و آن را باعث افتخار دانستند. این اقدام دریا صفایی که توانسته موافقت پارلمان بلژیک را با طرح پیشنهادی خود به دست آورد در پیوند با دو موضوع دیگر قرار دارد. موضوع یک متخصص
Guys, why is this not being covered in English media? This is major shift in global politics.
و یک دیپلمات. محمد جواد ظریف به نمایندگی از حاکمیت و در ادامه برنامه مبادله زندانیان دو تابعیتی تمایل خود را برای معاوضه احمد رضا جلالی با اسدالله اسدی ابراز کرده است. اما این دو نفر چه کسانی هستند؟ اسدالله اسدی دیپلمات ایرانی است که
Alright, so this is the guy that was gonna go boom boom.
چند روزی است دادگاهش در بلژیک در جریان است و احمد رضا جلالی یک زندانی دو تابعیتی که چند روزی قبل از برگزاری دادگاه اسدی
Alright, so we know the rest. Hold on. Yeah, we're not gonna. There's a lot more information here, but I want to show you because we've been going on close to an hour, and we need to get how is all of this tied to Kyle Kulinski? Okay, let's play that part. Where was that? I think it was around here. Hold on. Let me see what you guys are saying in the live chat. Okay, cool. I'm gonna just like this guy could go. All right, here. Why does Iran want to set him free? That's I don't know. Actually, that's a very good question. The fact that they are this aggressive in trying to get him free makes me very suspicious. I have no idea. Because the English media are too busy accusing France of Islamophobia. No, that's not fair. I think this just got off the radar. I used to watch Kulinski every day, not so much anymore. I mean, I still watch him. I disagree with him a lot. I still watch him. By the way, San Miguel TV, guys, go subscribe to his channel. If you're interested in Black Hebrew Israelites, he's an ex-Black Hebrew Israelite, and he covers them, and it's very interesting. So go subscribe to his channel. Again, the channel is called San Miguel TV. Okay, if you're interested in cults and how they operate, that's a very interesting cult for you to look at. Okay. All right, let's watch what Kyle is saying. Oh yeah, actually, Matthew's saying makes me suspicious as well. What was he even going to attack? To be honest. Well, I mean, that event, I mean, don't get me into the history of MEK and who they are. Okay, as much as I hate the MEK, they have leaked a lot of information that has been devastating for the Islamic Republic of Iran. So, yeah, but let's watch this video. Let's watch this. Okay, hold on.
Law and applies international.
Oh, this should not be on double speed. Because you guys are slow. You guys are slow. That's why I have to play this on normal speed for you guys.
Law. And so his rule is just, flip the people in the story.
Okay, hold on. This is a Noam Chomsky reference.
And I've said it before on this program. I think that Noam Chomsky is like...
So so Kyle is talking about, you guys know this Iranian scientist, right? Who was just assassinated by Mossad agents within Iran's border, okay? So he's saying that how do we, this is very unfair. Like, we just went and take down one of their scientists, but what if somebody did this to us, okay? And for the people who don't know, Kyle Kulinski is very, very anti-interventionist, but not to the level that I'm anti-interventionist. Like, he doesn't want no war. Like, he goes beyond just no war. I mean, war sometimes is justified, but he goes no sanctions, no nothing, no involvement. He's very anti the sanctions that have been put on Iran. Okay, and I've criticized him for that as well. And he misrepresents a lot of things about Qasem Soleimani and Iran's involvement around the Middle East. And he has basically come off as a person that is just defending the Islam. He says he doesn't, but effectively he's defending the Islamic Republic of Iran in half of his videos. Half of his videos that is about Iran, right? In this situation, he's like, it was wrong. Like, he thinks that killing Qasem Soleimani was wrong and human rights violations or whatever. I think that was one of the few things that I think Trump did right. And now I hear that it wasn't even his idea. So there goes that. But he thinks that killing the scientists, right? The nuclear scientist in Iran just recently, last week? Fakhrizadeh, killing him was also wrong. And he's trying to take us through thought experiments to show us why this whole thing was wrong. Okay, so that's the context. Okay, let me see what else you guys are saying. Is he related to someone with political power in Iran? That's why no. Oh, who? Oh, that. Yeah, we don't know. That information I don't have. Okay, we could just be wondering about that, but there's no information about that. Whether that guy. Yeah, we don't know. But anyways.
God, it was intentional. It was intentionally done, and so there's going to be a backlash. That's the way that these things...
All right, wait. Hold on.
overlook it as if it's like a
So he's saying, like, do you think the Iranian government is just going to overlook the execution of the top nuclear scientist as if it was a
whoopsie?
Whoopsie? And, you know, I don't know, but if they don't have a reaction, it's because they're desperate, maybe. Maybe if they don't have a reaction, which would be very surprising, but if they don't have a reaction, that means the devastating sanctions are working because they're so desperate for a new deal with the United States that they're on their best behavior, okay? I mean, this is a win-win for Israel. If there is a reaction, they would be like, okay, look at the reaction. We can't deal with Iran. And if there is no reaction, they're like, yeah, sit there, be a goodbye while we take out your nuclear scientists, and you don't even react. This puts Iran's government is like really, really tough. I'm happy that it puts them in a very tough situation, that they don't, damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, if they don't, they look ridiculous and weak and pathetic. And if they do react, if the reaction is significant, it's going to really make it difficult to have for United States to have a deal with Iran. Okay, so this was a very intelligent, the timing of this assassination was perfect. It was a very intelligent move by Israeli intelligence. And the carrying out of the assassination was like, you know how you watch 007 movies and you feel like, come on, they don't have that in real world. Like, that's too insane. But this was like such a sophisticated takeout. And guys, it was so sophisticated that he had his wife right next to him, and nobody got shot except the guy that threw himself in front of the scientist. But the wife was unharmed. Nobody died except the scientist. And apparently, like, satellites were used, artificial intelligence were used, an automatic gun in a car on the side roads was used. Like, the more you learn about how this assassination of the scientist was carried out, the more impressed you are by the people that were involved. Like, god damn it, that was like such a high-tech advanced attack. Okay, so I think it was fantastic. By the way, the reason why I support like taking out Soleimani and taking out like this nuclear scientist is because usually these are alternatives to outright war, to going out and destroying Iran's nuclear capacity and stuff like that. Okay, I mean, these are the intelligent ways to really disarm Iran's government with very little collateral damage. Like, I very much support. I mean, unless I hear something or an argument or some new information that changed my mind, I very much support this assassination of this nuclear scientist. Okay. Troil, that's a very complicated question and it requires its own live streams. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. Oh, Deborah. Hi, Deborah. I didn't recognize you with your Santa hat. JFK level. No, beyond JFK level. So this is Troil question that I might have to do an entire live stream on. This is Soraya saying it was Assassin's Creed. But yes. Hold on, continue.
Of course not. It was intentional. It was intentionally done. And so there's going to be a backlash.
By the way, this is going to be relevant to all the stories that we covered, okay? Give me a few seconds. You will get there.
That's the way that these things work. Now, the thing that I first go to every time I hear a story like this.
Okay, so here comes a thought experiment, okay? And by the way, just to let you guys know how smart Susanna is, I didn't look, I was like, am I being too judgmental here? Or is this like, am I noticing something here that I'm just imagining? So I sometimes like show things to Ali Rizvi or Susanna just to test without telling them what their reactions are. And she came to the same conclusion like this. Like, she just shouted out at me like that. Like, you're like, yes! Susanna's really smart, okay? So if Susanna noticed the same thing immediately, the same thing I did, this must be correct, okay? This must be correct. We both noticed the exact same thing, okay? So let's see if you guys are going to notice the same thing. So let's pay attention to this thought experiment, okay?
This is the Chomsky rule. And I've said it before on this program. I think that Noam Chomsky is like the only person who actually believes in international law, cares about international law, and applies international law. And so his rule is just, flip the people in the story here. So what would happen if it was Iran that assassinated a top Israeli nuclear scientist? Or it was Iran that assassinated a top American nuclear scientist? Could you imagine the reaction from our government or the Israeli government, or even imagine the reaction of the media in the United States of America? I mean, it would clearly be viewed accurately as a brazen act of war.
You guys get it?
As an aggressive act, as a violation of international law. And my guess is we would immediately go to war. There wouldn't be any, build up or tit for tat response where it's like, okay, they killed one of our scientists, so now we'll kill one of their scientists. No, it would have been like, all right, let's go. It's time to suit up.
Do you guys? Anyone? Come on. You're already behind Susanna and getting this. You're already slower than Susanna. Nope. Not that. Not that. No. Nope. What me and oh yeah, there you go. Troll. I shouldn't have an excuse. This is okay. So he said, if we reverse the situations, for example, if Iran took one of their nuclear scientists or somebody like that, then that would, by the media, be seen as
immediately go to war.
No.
United States of America. I mean, it would clearly be viewed accurately.
It's important that when he was describing the media, this word here was very important, okay? Because he didn't just say it would be, because Susanna was like, wait, maybe we're being too judgmental, because he just said that's how it would be viewed by the media. But then he added accurately, okay?
Or even imagine the reaction of the media
in
the United States of America.
United States.
I mean, it would clearly be viewed accurately.
So it's not just that the media would see it like that, but they would be correct to see it like that, because he added the word accurately, okay?
As a brazen act of war.
It would be a brazen act of war. So he's acting like we don't have, like, you're like, oh, what if we flip it around? What if we flip it around? This would be seen as an act of war, okay? So look at what we're doing to Iran. Of course, they're going to see it as an act of war. If we did it to us, we would be doing we would see it as an act of war, and we would go to war with it. Accurately, we would see it as an act of war. Well, Kyle, is this an act of war then? Are all of these hostages and putting American and European citizens on death row, is this an act of war? And might I remind you that this dude was military. He was part of the IRGC. And he was in the process of creating a nuclear weapons for a state sponsor of terror. And these people are just citizens, civilians. All the hostages. Is that not an act of war then? Okay, so if you think going after a military scientist who was making nuclear weapons for a state sponsor of terror, if assassinating that person, that is accurately could be defined as a brazen act of war that would naturally lead for United States to go to war, or if it was flipped around, to go to war with Iran, then hasn't the conditions already been met? So wait a minute, Kyle, I think you're getting a little bit too far, because you were anti-sanction. So guys, we have different levels, okay? We have non-intervention at all, no intervention, sanctions, going to war, okay? So Kyle was like, here, I'm on the sanctions level. And apparently, based on the standards, if we want to apply the standards that Kyle is having right now, he's going beyond just sanctions. Because if we apply, he's like, if we flip it around, well, I'm sorry, but it has been flipped around since the past 35 goddamn years. American soldiers are being picked one by one by Iranian proxies around the region. Taking American hostages has been the go-to strategy for Iran's government since day one of the revolution. Well, maybe a week after. But so for United States to go to war with Iran, you don't even need to worry about for that to be justified based on these standards. You don't even need the whole nuclear problem. You just could be. This is what I always say, guys. Like, people are like, Armin, do you think the sanctions are justified? I don't know about the nuclear stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's not justified. Guys, if you just throw those whole nuclear weapons out the window, just this hostage taking, just this going after people, other countries' citizens, and putting them on death row, that by itself alone justifies not just sanctions, but cutting off all ties. But Kyle is not even saying that. Kyle is saying it justifies war, apparently. Ooh, like, Kyle, calm down. I thought you were a non-interventionist. I wouldn't say that Indu Das. I don't think he was not. Nah, maybe I don't think that would be a conclusion. But guys, am I going too far with this? He's saying if we flip it around. I mean, what about So what about this guy, right? What about this guy? He's on death row. Does this okay, let's say, well, Armin, come on, like, it doesn't justify an act of war based on Kyle's standards. Okay, fine, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it does. But does it justify sanctions? Does it justify cutting off all trade and political relationship? They're coming after your citizens.
Or
wait, I wasn't sharing. This guy. I was highlighting this guy. This guy.
as an aggressive act, as a violation of international law. And my guess is we would immediately go to war. There wouldn't be any, build up or tit for tat response where it's like, okay, they killed one of our scientists, so now we'll kill one of their scientists. No, it would have been like, all right, let's go. It's time to.
What a dumb take by Marco today. Marco is saying, holy SHIT, you understand so much how religious people should not be judged by their religion. That's first of a dumb straw man. I never said they shouldn't be judged by their religion. What a major straw man. You're not, Marco, you're not very smart, Marco, because you haven't been paying attention to what I've been saying. And maybe you have a hearing problem. But I'm just saying it, you're not smart because I know that triggers you. And now you're okay with scientists working in his field being murdered just because. Just because. First of all, Marco, I've been so clear so many times that on this channel that I'm a consequentialist. Not I'm a utilitarian and the one work based on principles. Obviously, you're comparing a nuclear scientist that is in the process of creating nuclear weapons for a country that is state sponsor of terror, and you think like based on principles I'm saying you should spare the guy? Are you goddamn serious? Like, what the hell? What kind of a standards is this? Are you insane? Guys, the guy was working for IRGC. He's on record talking about making missile heads that you could put nukes on for a government that is a state sponsor of terror. Do you think it justifies taking him out? Yeah, of course it does. What the hell are you guys talking about? Guys, as a utilitarian, you can't just look at the life of a goddamn scientist. That's not the only person that matters. There's a whole bunch of other people's lives that matter when it comes to looking at what happens if you assassinate that scientist. Oh my God, Marco, your takes earlier today were so good, but this is so dumb. Oh my God, Marco, look at this, so dumb today. You really think that this guy has the sole knowledge for creating a nuclear? Oh my God, it's so difficult. It's not so difficult, and all of this has all of his assistants have the same knowledge. Are you serious? Yep, my God, Marco, today you're dumb. Yes, this is not. They have the processes to continue what they were doing, but this is a major setback. And Israel has done a lot more than just they took out many other scientists. Especially this guy was the main top guy, right? This is going to be a major setback for the process. And also, they took down some of the major centrifuging centers. Like it just exploded. Just when was it? It was a couple of months ago. But it's been amazing. Like taking out these people, some of the top scientists, and now the top scientists, and some of the major facilities has put Iran back. Like no deal has been able to set back Iran's process as effectively as what Mossad has been doing in Iran, and I congratulate that.
Suit up. We got to go fight a war.
Yeah, Marco, I agree. The scientist was a fair game. It was beyond a fair game. It would be irresponsible not to take out that scientist. And the timing of it was perfect as well. Because if you took out that scientist at any other time, the chances of retaliation by Iran's government, there's still a big chance for retaliation, but how aggressive that retaliation is going to be, right now, at least, the chances is more likely that it's going to be smaller compared to other situations, because Iran really is in a very tough spot, not to retaliate too hard so that they don't close all the possibilities for them to do the deal with Biden, right? So not only it was such a perfect takeout by Mossad, the timing of it was amazing as well. Okay. And also I'm gonna do another live stream with you guys very soon, because there's no new video and audio coming out from the scientists that show that Mossad had knowledge that all this talk about peaceful nuclear energy was all crap. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit more digging for you guys and show you that all the way back from 2003, the intelligence between Israel and Iran was shared. Was it 23? No, or was it 2013? I have to double check, okay? But all the way back from then, wait, hold on. When was this? Let me check. Yep, 2003. All the way back from till then, I was correct the first time. Both Israel intelligence agencies had knowledge that it was this guy, specifically this guy, that was responsible for making the nuclear energy in Iran it doesn't not peaceful. Like it was specifically made. He was specifically trying to make it be able to be used on missiles, right? And they knew this all the way back from 2003, and they shared it with Bush, and Bush shared it with their intelligence agency. So the fact that he's still alive till then, that's amazing that they didn't already take him out, right? That's one thing. Apparently, there was another attempted assassination at him earlier that failed. But actually, that brings us to this other point from this video.
But notice, when you flip the people in the story, when you flip the sides in the story, look at the way that it's discussed. Because there's a lot admitted by the way in which they cover the story. So, first of all, the brazen lies. So they say in this CNN piece, oh, a U.S. aircraft carrier is being sent to the Persian Gulf.
Okay, no, this is not the part I want to highlight, okay? So the part that I want to highlight for just to show you guys what the next stream is going to be. You know what? I'm going to leave that. Hold on. Is it here? Yeah, this one.
Iran, looking to immediately start war with Iran. And instead, what happened is this, my guess is this is what they floated as like a plan B. Either the United States or Israel or both working together were like, well, we have intelligence on their top nuclear scientists, so why not kill them? Now, the other thing I have to point out.
Right. Okay. I think this is the other point.
And you're not going to get this at all in mainstream media, and it's pathetic because they need to do their job and they need to do it right.
The mainstream media, where you get all your information from, and you come comment on it. Like this guy keeps talking about mainstream media as if they're all bad and they're all do you think Kulinski has like journalists that goes and gets firsthand information from the ground? Everybody keeps crapping on mainstream media while they are the actual people who are doing the job and going and grabbing all this information for us. And these ungrateful people, they're just like, you're not doing their job. You wouldn't have a job if you didn't have the information that the mainstream media is doing the work, the actual on the ground work to go get that information for you. You're getting all of that from mainstream media.
Is that there's no evidence Iran even has a nuclear weapons program.
Okay. Did you hear that? That is wrong. Here you go, one more time.
You do it right. Is that there's no evidence Iran even has a nuclear weapons program.
That is not true. That is not true. And that's going to be the next live stream. I mean, I don't know when. This week, probably.
No evidence Iran even has a nuclear weapons program.
They knew this since 2003 that there is. So, you know, I ended up actually being correct about all of this because I told you guys that if you do the game theory analysis, because we have no idea, like Iran says, like, yeah, this is all peaceful nuclear energy, and we have no evidence to know that they're lying. But I mean, who's going to trust the Islamic Republic of Iran, right? So, but just because they lie all the time, that doesn't mean that everything they say is opposite, right? But if you just do game theory, it makes sense for them to not necessarily have the weapons ready to go, but to have the capacity to go from not having nuclear weapons to having nuclear weapons immediately, okay? And having that capacity, getting Iran to be able to have nuclear weapons, that was my guess. And apparently, I was correct. Now leaked the videos are out there from this nuclear scientist himself that's what he was trying to get Iran to. And we'll go review that. We'll go review that on another live stream. And yeah, it's amazing because there was no videos of this guy until now. Now that he's assassinated, his video is out discussing exactly that. And apparently, what amazes me is that all of this time, people like for how many years now, right? For 17 years, people have been told, people like Kala has been going like, it's peaceful. Iran is doing peaceful energy, peaceful nuclear energy. And both United States intelligence agency and Israel's intelligence agencies were sitting on this information that, yeah, we know it's not. And they didn't share it. Like they were like they don't care. Apparently they don't care about their image and all. Like, why didn't they just sat on it? Matthew is saying, do you think Iran deserves nuclear energy bombs? And if they had these bombs, do you think they would fire them or use them to grow larger as a country? Okay, that's a lot of questions. Okay. The Iranian people do deserve to have nuclear energy. No country deserves to have nuclear bombs. But I also understand that maybe having nuclear bombs is unfortunately might lead to more countries not going to war than going to war. So we live in a world like that. So, but again, I don't think like in a vacuum, no country deserves to. I mean, the fact that we even have nuclear bombs is like such a tragedy. But again, that really depends. Okay, if you're talking about the Iranian people, they deserve to have nuclear energy. If you're talking about the Iranian government, no, they don't deserve to have nuclear energy. If you're talking about the Iranian people under a different government, would they deserve to have nuclear bombs? Yeah, maybe. I don't think who would be a threat to them if there was a government, if it was a different government. Maybe if there was a different government and this was a deterrent, we're talking about a completely alternative universe here right now, right? Under this government, no, they deserve neither, okay? But the Iranian people, I could tell you that nuclear energy, the Iranian people deserve to have nuclear energy, but not under this government. It needs to be under a different government. This government should have no access to anything nuclear. And if they had these bombs, do you think that they would fire them or use? No, they're not suicidal, okay? They're evil, but they're not suicidal. They want the weapon so that they could bully around. Guys, if Iran has a nuclear weapon, they would never fire them, but just having them would give them the security to flex their muscles around the region and be a headache in such more dramatically higher levels than they are already right now. Imagine how big of a problem they are in the world. Imagine if they have the full security of knowing that nobody's going to come at them because they have nuclear weapons. Imagine what terror the whole Middle East and the whole world has to deal with if Iran had that guarantee, right? So no, they would never fire them, but that would be a disaster, even though they would never fire them. They are evil, but they're not suicidal. So you know that if Iran had a nuclear weapon, the second that they shoot one of them, the entire world will be showing up at their door. Like, of course, they're not suicidal. They're not idiots. Unfortunately, they're evil, but they're not idiots. I wish they were idiots. I think Iran does deserve nuclear energy, but USA won't be able to declare war. That's why guys, you have to really stop using energy and nuclear weapons interchangeably. They're a completely different thing. And again, Iranian people deserve to have nuclear energy, but not under this government. This government should not have access to anything nuclear. Don't you think that Iran would be able to take care of themselves? I don't know what that question means. Who are you talking? Guys, do not use nuclear energy and nuclear weapons interchangeably. They're completely different things. And do not use Iranian government and Iranian people interchangeably. I'm guilty of that sometimes, but those are also completely different things, okay?
Now, I know you hear that and you're like, Jesus.
Wait, this is important. Okay, hold on. Let me tell you. Context.
Weapons program.
He's saying Iran has no nuclear weapons program.
Job, and then you need to do it right. Is that there's no evidence Iran even has a nuclear weapons program.
Nope.
There's no evidence Iran even has a nuclear weapons program.
We have now, but apparently we had it since 17 years ago. We just didn't know it, but it's now available to public. Again, why is this not being covered everywhere? The fact that we have evidence that both U.S. and Israeli intelligence agencies had always known that this was not peaceful. How is this not like everywhere now? Again, that's why I'm bringing this to you guys.
Now, I know you hear that and you're like, Jesus, like what? What are you talking about? The underlying assumption in every single thing you've ever heard in discussions about Iran is that they do have a nuclear weapons program. There is no evidence they have a nuclear weapons program. In fact, all the evidence is to the contrary. All the evidence is that...
Nope. You're wrong. Now we have evidence that is exactly that.
to the extent they have nuclear power, the uranium is only enriched to the point where...
Yeah, Darko, good one. He's like, oh, they have no nuclear. This is such a great comeback by Darko. Hold on.
To the extent they have nuclear...
Hold on. This is good.
There is no evidence they have a nuclear weapons program. In fact...
Yep, Darko, you're right. Darko, yes, you're right, Kyle. They don't, not anymore. They took down all their major centrifuge centers. They went all boom boom. They took down all their major scientists, and now they took down their top scientists. So yeah, maybe, yeah, Darko, maybe he's right. Maybe Kyle is right then on that. Well, I mean, thank Musad, guys. Thank Musad in the live chat. I know Soha doesn't. Soha, sorry, but thank Musad. Yes, technically, nuclear energy is the basis of nuke boom boom. Yes, I know, but it's what the whole point is that, guys, because when people say Iran could have nuclear energy, and they're like, oh no, that's dangerous. But the whole argument was like, yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna have nuclear weapons just because they're gonna have nuclear energy. Of course, one comes before the other, but now we know, like, apparently it did mean.
Back, all the evidence is to the contrary.
No.
All
right, so this is what I'm going to stop this now, but this is what we're going to be covering next time to see what is it that we know now that we didn't know before, okay? And how this the scientist was a much bigger deal than we thought he was, even right after the assassination, okay? Again, guys, scientists and people that have the know-how and know the management, these people are really difficult to come by, okay? Taking out a scientist like this is a major blow. It's a major blow, okay? Yes, they could still recover, but it is a major pushback. A lot of people say the same thing that they're now saying about the scientists. They said it about Soleimani. They said, Soleimani, if you take out Soleimani, do you think people don't know how to do, like, do you think Iran doesn't know how to negotiate, like, with Turkey and the Kurds and the Iraqis and the Syrians? They're going to be able to maintain those relationships and the connections and all that. Like, you don't need Qasem Soleimani to do that. But guys, they were wrong. Taking out Qasem Soleimani was a major blow. Sometimes some people just know, they just have the right connections, they just know how to manage, they just know they're charming, they have the know-how, they have the right skill set, and they're just such an important asset for for what you're trying to do. And taking him out, even though it's not going to completely stop the Islamic Republic, it's a major, major blow. And the assassination of Qasem Soleimani was that, and this might also be something like that. So we'll see. I hope, at least I hope it's going to be a major blow to Iran's, literally a major blow, because, guys, I don't know if you guys know, because it's not just major top scientists that they've taken out. They're also take down some key facilities that has taken Iran years to develop, right? And recovering from that is, especially for a country like Iran, that is such for Iran, who is Iran's government, which is heavily under sanctions, and Iran's government, which has such a major brain drain. Like, scientists are not easy to come by in Iran. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm gonna leave here. USA should also condemn Pakistani actions. I don't know what this got to do with what we're saying. Anyways, guys, look forward to that other live stream. Well, we show you how important this Fakhrizadeh was when it comes to connecting. There were like missiles, and there were nuclear energy, and you have missiles, and you have nuclear energy, and you're like the key guy behind, like, putting this, like, we can put these together. Can we put this together? That was him. And now he's no more. Okay, cool. We'll do a live stream on that later. All right, talk to you guys later. And make sure you subscribe. Come on, guys. I bring you unique information here. You don't see this anywhere else. Guys, Afshin, tell them Afshin is here. Even from Persian sources, you don't get coverage like this. This is like top level stuff, guys. I've been like consuming, following articles, coverages, reports. You don't get this deep of a dive. You don't get this anywhere else. If that is not worth a subscribe, then you're a moron. If you have not yet subscribed after watching all of this, there's something wrong with you. Subscribe. Do it. It's Hekmah. It's Dharma. Do it now.